Glioblastoma multiforme, or GBM for short, is a highly malignant brain tumor with a poor life expectancy. This scene will give you a vivid way to remember some facts about this tumor and the histological findings you would see on biopsy. Let's start this scene when it's late at night and people are frantically working to turn the local sports coliseum into a shelter for the impending attack. Suddenly, a massive door creaks open in the starry sky, and a giant butterfly lands on the dome of the coliseum and crashes through the wall. It's Mothma, and he has appeared earlier than expected. This colossal butterfly is our anchor to represent Glioblastoma multiforme, since Glioblastoma multiforme is commonly called a butterfly glioma. This big butterfly is actually a loaded symbol and can help you remember several key features of this brain tumor. First, notice how Mothma has landed on the dome of the Colosseum. His wings are spanning across the left and right sides of this dome, which kind of reminds me of the cerebral hemispheres. Mothma's wings, spanning across the divide between the left and right sides, should help you remember that butterfly gliomas can cross the cerebral hemispheres. In fact, the crossing through the corpus callosum and extension into both hemispheres of the brain is characteristic of the tumor. Take a look at this CT scan here. This image of wings extending to both halves of the dome is why Glioblastoma multiforme is known as a butterfly glioma. Speaking of wings, the majestic yet terrifying colors on this butterfly's wings represent some of the gross and histological findings associated with Glioblastoma multiforme. The term multiforme is due to the variegated gross appearance of the tumor with white firm areas, yellow necrotic areas, red hemorrhagic areas, and cystic areas. And of course, let's not forget just how menacing Mothma looks. The fear he strikes into our hearts is a good reminder that Glioblastoma multiforme is a highly malignant primary brain tumor with around a 1-year median survival. Next, let's turn our attention to the sky for a moment. For this playlist on brain tumors, the time of day is our recurring motif for the age group affected by the brain tumor. Daytime represents tumors that affect children, whereas nighttime represents adult tumor. You know, since mornings are like children, bright and full of potential, and late nights are older. You know, they come after the morning. Kind of like adults. Anyway, just let this dark night sky that Mothma has emerged out of remind you that Glioblastoma multiforme is an adult brain tumor. Next, if you ignore the killer butterfly that has come to eradicate our city, you'll notice that it's actually a beautiful starry night, don't you think? All these beautiful stars should remind you that Glioblastoma multiforme originates from astrocytes. You know, since astrocytes literally got their name for being star-shaped cells. Glioblastoma multiforme is a tumor derived from astrocytes, which you can remember by picturing the starry night sky here. Furthermore, did you notice the big shiny star door in the sky that Mothma emerged from? This star door helps us remember that Glioblastoma multiforme is a grade 4 astrocytoma. You know, since a door is our recurring symbol for the number 4. As a quick review, tumor grades are determined by their degree of cellular differentiation, or in simpler terms, how much the tumor cells differ from the cells of the normal tissue they have originated from. They are assigned a score of 1 to 4, and a higher tumor grade is a sign of high cell proliferation and therefore faster cancer growth. Glioblastoma multiforme is also called a grade 4 astrocytoma, which means that it is the most malignant and undifferentiated type of astrocytoma. Yep, this tumor is bad. Impending doom really helps you appreciate the beauty of nature, doesn't it? Since we're already talking about cellular appearance, let's shift our gaze down into the Colosseum floor, where workers are frantically preparing for Mothma's attack. We see one worker frantically rolling up the tarp on the stadium floor because, well, not surprisingly, Mothma seems to be attracted to green patches of grass. Clearly, he did not get the job done in time. The green flap in his hands will help you remember that Glioblastoma multiforme stains GFAP positive. Get it? Green flap for GFAP? GFAP, or glial fibrillary acidic protein, is a protein that is found, unsurprisingly, in glial cells. Remember how I said earlier that glioblastomas come from astrocytes, a type of glial cell? It should be obvious then that glioblastomas have a glial origin, and therefore stain GFAP positive. Nearby, we see another worker trying to erect a palisade in an attempt to protect themselves from Mothma. This palisade is here to help you remember the pseudo-palisading appearance of tumor cells on biopsy. And notice the dead grass just inside of this palisade? Well, this dead grass located centrally is here to represent the areas of central necrosis that border pseudo-palisading tumor cells on biopsy. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a pathological specimen of GBM. This area shows pseudopalisading tumor cells that appear like they are lining up right next to this area of central necrosis. This appearance is pseudopalisading rather than true palisading because the tumor cells are not actually lining up due to tissue architecture. Instead, the lined up appearance is due to the nearby area of necrosis or cell death. You see, these tumors grow faster than their blood supply can support, causing the inside, or central area, of these tumors to die by necrosis. The surviving outer layer just appears like it is lining up, hence the name pseudopalisading. Don't worry so much about the differences between pseudopalisading and true palisading. Instead, just remember that tumor cells line up around areas of central necrosis, and you'll have the biopsy findings down. Finally, notice the bright red seats encircling the Coliseum. They had just been redone for the local sports teams next season, but they will definitely need to be refurbished again, assuming of course that the town survives Mothma's attack. This circle of red seating represents microvascular proliferation, which is a key defining histologic feature of Glioblastoma multiforme. You know, all this red for the proliferation of blood vessels. If this isn't enough though, check out how there's red twine tying all these palisades together. The red twine around the palisade should also help you remember that this proliferation of blood vessels is seen around the areas of palisading tumor cells. Alright, now that's it. Let's quickly recap what we have learned. Glioblastoma multiforme, also called butterfly glioma or grade 4 astrocytoma, is a highly malignant brain tumor that occurs in adults. As the most aggressive primary brain tumor, it has a short median survival time of only 1 year. It is most commonly found in the cerebral hemispheres, and it can cross the corpus callosum. The histological findings of this tumor include pseudopalisading pleomorphic tumor cells surrounding central areas of necrosis, as well as microvascular proliferation. Given its astrocyte origin, glioblastoma multiforme also stains positively for GFAP. Alright, now that's it. Hopefully now that you understand more about this foe, you can help devise a plan to defeat Mothma and save the city. Or at least get a higher step score. We'll see you next time.